Welcome back to the channel. I will ask you a question. Have you ever felt a deep connection with someone, like you truly understood their joys and sorrows? It's a profound experience, one that transcends words and touches the very core of our being. That, my friends, is the power of empathy. It's a bridge that connects hearts and minds, allowing us to share in each other's experiences. It's the ability to step into someone else's shoes, to feel the world through their eyes, even if just for a moment. This act of understanding can transform relationships and build stronger communities. Empathy is more than just understanding someone's words. It's about connecting with their emotions. It's about being present and truly listening, offering a shoulder to lean on when needed. It's about feeling what they feel, even if we haven't walked in their exact footsteps. This emotional resonance can create bonds that are unbreakable. This deep connection is what makes us human. It's what allows us to support each other through life's challenges and celebrate each other's victories. Imagine a world where everyone practiced empathy, a world where we all took the time to understand and care for one another. Think about how much kinder and more compassionate our interactions would be, how conflicts could be resolved with understanding and patience. Empathy has the power to bridge divides, heal wounds, and bring us closer together. It can turn strangers into friends and adversaries into allies. It's about recognizing the shared humanity in all of us, seeing beyond our differences to the common threads that bind us. It's time we unlock the power of empathy and create a more compassionate world together. Let's open our hearts and minds to the experiences of others and build a future where empathy is at the core of our interactions. Empathy is a gift, both for ourselves and for the people around us. When we approach others with empathy, we open ourselves up to deeper, more meaningful connections. We begin to see the world through a wider lens, appreciating the diversity of human experiences. This understanding allows us to build bridges of compassion and support. Empathy fosters a sense of belonging, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles. It creates a safe space for vulnerability, where we can share our authentic selves without fear of judgment. When we feel truly seen and heard, it's like a breath of fresh air. Empathy nourishes our souls and strengthens our relationships, making life a richer and more fulfilling experience. Empathy is a bridge that connects us across differences in background, beliefs, and experiences. It allows us to see the world from multiple perspectives, fostering understanding and tolerance. When we make an effort to understand someone else's story, we challenge our own biases and assumptions. We begin to see the world in shades of grey rather than black and white. This ability to hold space for different perspectives is essential for building strong communities and resolving conflicts peacefully. Empathy is the key to unlocking a more compassionate and just world. By embracing empathy, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities, where differences are celebrated and everyone feels valued and respected. I remember a time when a close friend was going through a difficult divorce. It was a period filled with emotional turmoil and uncertainty for her. She was grappling with feelings of loss, confusion, and deep sadness. I had never experienced anything like that myself, so I felt unsure how to best support her. I wanted to help, but I didn't know what to say or do. I was afraid of saying the wrong thing and making her feel worse. Instead of offering unsolicited advice or trying to fix the situation, I simply listened. I realized that sometimes the best way to support someone is to just be there, to be a silent witness to their pain. I listened with my heart, trying to understand the depth of her pain and sadness. I let her share her story and her fears and her hopes without interrupting or judging. I may not have had all the answers, but by simply being present and empathetic, I was able to offer her a safe space to process her emotions. My presence was a reminder that she was not alone in her struggle. She later told me that my willingness to listen without judgment was the greatest gift I could have given her. It made me realize how powerful and healing it can be to simply listen. That experience taught me the profound power of simply being there for someone in need. It showed me that empathy is not about solving problems, but about being a compassionate presence. Empathy is not about having all the answers. It's about showing up with an open heart and a willingness to listen. It's about creating a space where someone feels seen, heard, and valued, even in their darkest moments. As beautiful and powerful as empathy is, it can also be challenging. When we open our hearts to others, we also open ourselves up to the potential for pain. We may find ourselves feeling overwhelmed by the suffering in the world, carrying the weight of others' burdens as if they were our own. This is often called empathic distress, and it's important to recognize its signs. Empathic distress can manifest as emotional exhaustion, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, or even physical symptoms and illness. If we're not careful, constantly absorbing the emotions of others can leave us feeling depleted and drained. It's crucial to remember that we can't pour from an empty cup. We must prioritize our own well-being in order to be truly present and supportive for others. Section 6. Shielding our hearts, healthy boundaries. Practicing empathy doesn't mean sacrificing our own well-being. Just as we put on a coat to protect ourselves from the cold, we need to establish healthy boundaries to protect ourselves from empathic overload. Setting boundaries is not selfish. It's an act of self-care. It's about recognizing our limits and communicating them clearly and compassionately to others. This might mean limiting our exposure to negative news, setting aside time for ourselves each day, or saying no to requests that drain our energy. Remember, we can't be everything to everyone. By setting healthy boundaries, we preserve our own emotional reserves, allowing us to show up more fully for ourselves and others. Section 7. Learning to let go, avoiding empathic distress. One of the most important skills we can develop is the ability to empathize without becoming overwhelmed by others' emotions. Empathy allows us to connect deeply with others, but it can also lead to empathic distress if we are not careful. It's about learning to hold space for others' pain without carrying it as our own. This requires a balance between being present and maintaining our own emotional boundaries. This means recognizing that we are not responsible for fixing other people's problems or making them feel better. We can be there for them, offering a listening ear and a compassionate heart without taking on their emotional load. We can offer support and compassion without taking on their burdens. It's important to remember that our role is to support, not to solve. Okay, now visualizations can be helpful here. Imagine yourself surrounded by a protective light, allowing you to be present without absorbing the negative energy. Now imagine a stream flowing past you. This stream represents the emotions and experiences of others. You can acknowledge the emotions flowing by without jumping into the stream and getting swept away. This visualization helps create a mental boundary. Remember, empathy is about understanding and connecting, not fixing or rescuing. It's about being there for someone without losing yourself in their struggles. By learning to let go, we protect our own emotional well-being while still offering genuine support. This balance allows us to be compassionate and caring without compromising our own mental health. Section 8. Cultivating empathy, a daily practice. Empathy is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a muscle that we need to exercise and strengthen every day. The more we practice empathy, the more natural it will become. Start by paying attention to the people around you. Notice their facial expressions, body language, and tone of voice. Try to put yourself in their shoes and imagine what they might be feeling. Engage in meaningful conversations. Ask open-ended questions and truly listen to the answers. Seek to understand different perspectives, even if you don't agree with them. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to practice empathy. By making it a conscious effort, we can cultivate a more compassionate and empathetic heart. Section 9. A more compassionate world, our shared journey. The world needs more empathy, it needs more kindness, more understanding, and more compassion. It needs us to bridge the divides that separate us and recognize the shared humanity that unites us. This is not a journey we take alone. It's a collective effort, a shared responsibility to create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. Let us choose empathy. Let us choose understanding. Let us choose compassion. Together we can unlock the power of empathy and create a world that is more just, more equitable, and more loving for all. We are building an amazing community of like-minded individuals, striving for a better world. Join us at immortalist.com. Tomorrow we continue with our journey within. We will discuss the toolkit all empaths should have. Until then, take care of yourselves.